Good day, this is Ray. Today is Saturday, February 28th, 2026. For me, another day of learning and growing. Hope that you, your family, friends, and loved ones are doing well and staying safe. And I hope I can get through this video without having hiccups. Because for the past 2 days, I've been dealing with hiccups, haven't been able to sleep. It's kept me up at night. Finally, I got a medication filled yesterday, and it seems to be keeping it at bay for the most part. I had some hiccups this morning after breakfast. But right now I seem to be fine. I took a pick of my groceries, drop off dry cleaning, picked up some bathroom rugs, and now I'm back home recording this video. So it's been quite a chaotic couple of months, really since November, since I had took a position in a different state, decided to put my home on the market and sell it instead of renting it out. And put my home on the market on November 21st, and I'm actually going to start with that news. My home is under contract. They've gone through the due diligence, and I will be officially selling my home on the 17th of March. Now, I can't begin to tell you how much of a burden that lifts off my shoulders, but I still have one more mortgage payment, one more HOA payment, which I'll get reimbursed half or a percentage of, because I'm only paying for about half of the month. And I have gas, electricity to pay still. So it's very tight. And if you have seen my previous video, I was in a car accident and paid for those repairs. It was $2,100. So this month didn't make hardly any progress when it comes to paying off debt. But next month it's going to be a completely different story, because at the sale price that I asked for, I will be able to pay off the rest of my consumer debt. Now, how that looks, I'm not sure. It'd be exciting just to go and write checks or transfer the money and see nothing but zeros. But I need to game plan. I'm going to allocate this money, because it's going to be enough to, of course, pay off the debt, but also it's going to be enough to possibly have a full emergency fund. I'm thinking it'll be about 6 months of enough money to be able to cover emergency funds, and that's what's most important to me, because I deal with a chronic illness. There's only one income in my household, and that's me. And I've already seen at the beginning of this year that I've had $1,600 worth of medical claims in the first 2 months. So, I've got to pay that, but also I've got to keep in mind that I'm going to have to pay taxes this year, and it's probably going to be a significant amount. Just not sure how much yet, but I have to set aside money for that. So, I'm just going to be budgeting as usual. It's not going to make me rich, but it will change a lot. So anyway, let me get into the numbers for this month. So at the beginning of this year, my beginning balance was $32,187.53. I had accumulated a last personal loan to be able to cover some fixes and just some painting and stuff to my house. So I went backwards $6,000, but ultimately I ended up I was in the hole by $57.64.72. This month I was able to pay off $246.63 of that. And the total amount I paid off for the year, or the total amount I'm in the red, is by $55.1809. Now that sucks, yeah, but I did what I had to do in order to get this house sold, because I wanted to get it sold as quickly as possible. Put it on the market November 21st, and let me see, so November 21st, December 21st, January, February, so 3 months and some change, almost 4 months, and that's the market right now. So I want to tell you, if you are putting your home on the market and you have identified another place to get, and you, like me, may carry a mortgage, you may carry 2 mortgages, for all I know, but budget like crazy, especially if you don't want to go even further back into debt. Now, the choice of me taking out a personal loan and going further into debt was for the reasons that I had mentioned, is that I wanted to sell my home as quickly as possible, and that's that. So just for fun, I'm going to compare it to last year to date. Year to date last year, I paid off $22,1876. Year to date 2026, I'm backwards by $55,1809. So by last year's pace, I'm behind by $7,736.85. That looks terrible. But soon, it's going to be a thing of the past, and I cannot wait. Emergency fund is 90% funded last month, 90% funded this month, and been able to touch it. Monthly debt payments is fun to look at this February 2026. So towards my debt, I paid $326.66. My debt decreased by $246.63. So what I lost in interest that month was $80.03. Looking at next, there's not much I actually want to update about my numbers this month, but let me just go ahead and run it back all the way from the beginning. My consumer debt as of June 2020 was $115,041.89. Paid off a total of $77,336.27. My consumer debt as of today is $37,705.62, which means I paid off approximately 67% of the non-mortgage debt. Now, because I had that increase, and I'm not sure I'm going to count this last part of my debt payoff journey, because the first 5 years, those 5 years was strictly just budgeting, paying off debt. Now, these first 2 months and about to be March, how I'm going to pay off the rest of the debt is by selling this home. So that's not probably a usual path for people, but it is a potential path if you consider it. You know, if you want to buy a home, hold on to it for some years and then sell it, that's one way to pay it off, but I wouldn't say it's an orthodox way to do it. If I had held on to the home a little bit longer, paid off more of the mortgage, and it would have been more of a windfall, so to speak. But it isn't. You know, I still have a lot of mortgage left on that home to pay, so I'm not going to have as big of a windfall as I would have if I would have held on to the home. But that's neither here nor there. My plan for March. So I do not have to budget for a April mortgage payment. So right there, I'm already going to start saving in that regards. I do have to budget for the electricity and gas bill, because I will have one left of each of those. But it'll just be my rent. It'll just be my my electricity here, and that's it. Those will be the only 2 bills I have. Won't have any credit card bill, and I'm about to wrap up. But as a matter of fact, I'm going to show you what the debt look like, because I almost glossed over these last 2 slides. But here's my non-mortgage debt as of June 2020. As you can see, I have medical debt, credit card debt, debt on installment loans, student loans. Total debt was $115,041.89. Now today, what it looks like now is a lot of zeros. I got that personal loan at $58,90.07, not really making a plan to pay it off quickly, because I'm about to sell the home. And then I got my student loan, which is student loans is 2, total of $31,815.55. Total debt is $37,705.62. So I'm hoping next month, or if not in April, you're going to see all zeros, and then that's going to be the end of that part of my debt to pay off a significant amount. I am excited, because that'll give me a chance to do some things. In particular, I want to possibly look at getting Invisalign. I want to make sure that I have enough, like I said, to have a full emergency fund, and then I can start planning on doing some traveling, because I do plan on going to a jazz festival either this year or next year. I'm not sure yet. I'm in a position that I could do it this year, but really, because of the way I do things now, the way I budget, it might be for next year, because then I can just set aside a certain amount each month to be able to prepare for the trip. I'll be well prepared, pay for flight, hotel, food, the venue itself, the concert tickets. It'll be a very different type of trip, because it'll be a trip where I am consumer debt free for the first time in 29 years. So almost 30 years of non-mortgage debt. That's horrible. All right. This was a longer video than I anticipated, but if you made it this far, feel free to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications. You'll know when to post my videos. You can find me at youtube.com/@9 budget. As always, thanks for watching. I hope you all take care.